Hey everyone, I am back with a video, and this one is on basically your essentials when doing makeup. I am not a makeup artist, I am not a makeup guru, but I do know how to get my makeup done and look effective and get compliments and stuff like that. My best friend is a makeup artist, and so I've kind of learned from her and also the YouTube community. But I kind of wanted to come on here and educate some of you girls who are getting into makeup, who are still playing with makeup, on just basically the essentials, the basics of brushes, of tools and things like that, just to get you by. This is not in any way, shape, or form a kit that you can then go out and do other people's makeup, which, believe it or not, actually you could, but if you really want to be, cut above the rest, you may want to invest in some more things. But this is basically what I use to kind of get by. Very simple. I live in Miami and it is very hot, so I usually don't wear foundation, so I have to take care of my skin. And I also try to get by with as minimal stuff as possible because stuff on the eyes produces more oil, things of that nature. So usually kind of my go-to makeup look is just a moisturized face. I'll put on some mascara, do my eyebrows, and a lipstick or lip gloss of some sort. Very simple. So I wanted to go over some of the brushes and kind of the uses for them. So for instance, if you're putting on foundation, there's a multitude of different brushes based on your face, how well it blends. Some people use a brush like this. Now I just washed my brushes because I was trying to be nice for y'all in this little video. So they may be a little bit damp still. This brush I got in a kit that my best friend got for me for Christmas, I believe, about a year or two ago. So I have a whole kit, a whole bunch of brushes that look just like this. And I want to say, it says SK. I feel like her name was like Sonia Kahuli or something like that. I can't remember her name. Anyways, I'm going to explain to you kind of the brushes that I've used for foundation. The starting brush that I used was actually this brush. This is a stipple brush. It comes in many different sizes. This one is by e.l.f. Some of them come like really, really huge. Some of them are really small. This is like more of a medium sized one. I got this from probably Target. So yeah, this is by e.l.f. and it's a stipple brush. It works great, no problems with it. The coverage is good. It may streak a little depending on the application and also the foundation that you use. This is another brush. I'm not sure the name of the brush, but I figure visually you guys can kind of see what it looks like, and hopefully that can help you. It has kind of, I would say, almost like a broccoli. It looks like a head of broccoli almost. It's very soft, very malleable, and it works really great because it's not too harsh on the face. And when you apply, you can actually get a lot of coverage without having to do too many motions. This brush is actually by Morphe. This is the S94. I got a whole kit of them also as a gift by my brother, from another mother and another father. So you guys, the holidays is coming up. Be sure to put those things on your list. If you're like me, who is frugal franny, who refuses to invest in a lot of different things and finds the DIY or the cheaper version of a lot of things, put those things on your list from now, so that way you can get them for Christmas and you don't have to cut the check. I use this brush. It has a flat head. It's also very soft. It's very great because it has a lot of coverage. As you can see, the top of it is quite wide, so that means you're not spreading too much product all over your face, and that means it kind of stays in place a little bit better. There's not so much movement. I have these little mini eggs, the little sponges, the little beauty blenders, and couldn't come to my brain for the life of me. They come in various sizes, various shapes or forms. I have one like this. This one's a little bit harder, and I don't use it as often because it can just be a little bit challenging to work with. This can be used to apply all over the face. I've even seen people use their hands, and that provides great coverage. I didn't say this in the beginning, and I should have said this. Whenever you're doing your makeup, please, please, please make sure you have good lighting. Doing your makeup can be challenging, period. But then if you have lighting that is iffy or not so reliable, for instance, some lighting has like a yellow tint in it, a reddish tint in it, a grayish tint in it. Not only our faces do, but the lighting itself, depending on where you're at, it may be in the afternoon, invest in some good lighting, or do like I like to do. I like to do my makeup in natural lighting, because that is what usually going to go out. If you're going to go out and it's dark, etc., you know, who's really like zooming in? But if you're taking pictures and stuff like that, those kind of things show up if there's any imperfections and things of that nature. So make sure you're doing your makeup in some pretty good lighting, especially if you're applying like foundation and stuff. You want to make sure that you cover everything so that way it looks seamless and you bring it down to your neck, etc. So that's a really, really good tip. Okay, so that's kind of just applying to the face. These things can be used for your foundation, for some people actually use it for their contour and their highlight because they don't care for certain brushes, referring to these eggs. I use this a lot of times for my, it also came in the kit, for my contour, because it's wide, but it's easy to blend. I like this a lot. Another brush that I use this for my highlight. It's an angled brush. It's also by e.l.f. and it is a bronzing brush actually. I'll use this for my highlight because again it is wide and I can do, and it picks up the product pretty well. I think that's it for like face brushes for the most part. I'm gonna go into when you're doing, oh actually no, this one looks like a really, like this is a foundation brush. You can actually brush your foundation onto your face instead of, you know, dotting it up. I use this sometimes if I want to apply my contour in a certain area and spread it out before I actually start to blend. But there's a whole range of brushes, but any one of those brushes or even the Beauty Blender would be great for applying makeup and giving you really, really great coverage. Remember, when you apply makeup is one thing, but when you've blended is another thing. There are many brushes that can do, you can apply with and blend, and there's some brushes that you're only going to use to blend or only using to apply. For instance, this one is you're only going to use this to apply. You're not going to use this to blend. This is not to blend. I repeat, this is not to blend. This is just to apply. Let's go on to eye brushes. Now these are not all the brushes again. These are just brushes, my go-to brushes that I currently have and I find that are really effective for the makeup looks that I've done. These are really great for creases. I have another one that's really good, but I washed it, so it's like super, super dead. Dead, not in a dead, you know, just super wet actually. These two are really great. Again, this is from the same kit. This is a Smudge Tache by, can't even say the name. Not even gonna try. I think I got this in a Ipsy bag one time, and it's really great for your crease, blending that out for your transition color. This one is a little bit bigger, so if you really, really want to get in there and you really want to create a more dramatic effect, this is a really, really great brush. This also is a pretty good brush too. I don't use this as often because my eye space isn't that large and I really don't want to go crazy. Now if you're applying more of your actual color, etc., this is a really great brush. I believe this is a Morphe brush. This is the S12. This is really great for applying more color. These brushes, I love these types of brushes. This is the e.l.f. contour brush, and this is a blending eye brush. They look fairly the same. One is a little bit higher than the other. This is really great if you want to pack on color. Like if you're doing a gold, a highlight color, this goes really, really well with doing that because the coverage is really well and it holds the color as you apply it onto the brush, and then you go ahead and can be able to pack it in. You can always use your finger as well. But this is really, really great. Also, it's really great for your inner corners of your eyes if you really want to create that dramatic effect. This too is also a good brush. I believe this is a Morphe brush, yes, the S20, and it is also good for the inner corners of your eyes or even underneath your eyes. So those are some really great, some of my go-to brushes that whenever I'm doing my makeup, hence why they are all, you know, washed right now. I actually use this kind of angled brush for my highlight here. It does it really, really well. These are optional. You always want to obviously have an angled brush if you're doing your eyebrows. This is what I use for my eyebrows. I have about 3 of these. There's actually another one. There's 2 of these that are both from e.l.f. and they're both fairly small. Another one I got in a kit, which I cannot find right now. It's actually, this one I like because it's a little bit thicker as far as the angle itself is a little bit chunkier. So it provides more coverage and you're less stroking onto your eyebrows. Those are a little bit more precise. So those are some of the really great brushes that I use to kind of get by with my eyes, my face, etc. I hope this was really helpful. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I'm missing. I mean, if you want to get really, really into it, you're going to need, if you're going to do your makeup, you're going to need, or you should really invest in some kind of primer so that way your face isn't completely like saturated in makeup. There's some kind of prep to your makeup. Currently, I'm using the Shine Control Primer by Black Radiance. Very affordable, found it in Walmart. Works really well. I have combination skin. I'm actually in the process of working with my skin to try to make it a little bit better, more consistent. And that's being done by using a really good toner. If you guys are interested, let me know. It's really helped with the pimples and things of that nature that I really don't want in my life. Following that, if you really want to get super fancy, you can have a eyeshadow primer. I'm using this one by the Black Radiance again. I think it works it works pretty well. It's not as it doesn't make your eyeshadow as bright as I would like. So going in with a white, I don't see it here. Going in with a white eyeshadow primer really, really makes it pop if you really want to go that route, or using a concealer of your choice. The concealers that I kind of rotate from is this one by Circa. I actually use this, it's full coverage concealer. It works pretty well. The problem is it kind of dries up just a little bit. I got this from Walgreens. And then next, the Pro Concealer in Fawn. Actually, this one is Warm Honey, but I have my Fawn over there. Your foundations, I rotate between the Fit Me Stick foundation, and then it's the Fit Me actual liquid foundation. I find that these work really well for me and they match my skin tone, and they don't get me super oily, and they last pretty long. They're, in my opinion, very buildable. And you know, I don't really like to wear super heavy makeup or cake face or anything of that nature because it just doesn't work in this environment at all. Going into this, so again with the Fit Me pressed powder, I'll put that on occasionally just to kind of help smooth out my coverage and stuff like that. You want to grab you a blush. I had to read it. You want to grab a blush because that's always really great. I use the e.l.f. Golden collection, the highlight and bronzer, to highlight and to actually use only this gold here up top here to highlight everything. This is my go-to highlighter. The other one broke and I got a new one. That one's so gorgeous. I use this to contour. It's Ebony I cannot remember the name of the brand right now, but anyways, you want to grab something that is about 2 shades darker than you. I can say it's about 2 shades darker depending on the lighting, etc. I don't like my contour to be super like popping crazy. And these are just simple things that I kind of have purchased throughout the years. This one is kind of a waxy, kind of creamy foundation, I believe. And I use that as my contour. You can use powder. You can use the LA Girl Pro Sticks. You can use whatever you kind of, the concealers or whatever ones you want. And then I have my high definition powder, setting powder by e.l.f. This one is in a hint of tint. I think I don't really bake too long, so it's not really that deep, but I really don't go crazy too much on my face, again on my skin when it comes to my face, because it gets too hot and then I get to rub in my face because I'm not used to it. So I try to stay away from foundation. I try to focus more on the eyes and keep it pretty simple. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of the stuff that I have that I use on, whenever I'm doing my makeup or even a full face of makeup. Those are my go-tos. They may switch just a little bit, but for the most part, that's what I have. If you guys have any questions about the products or the brushes or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me and I can explain a little bit more. But I think that if you're going to do makeup in any way, shape, or form, it's really good to invest in some kind of starter kit things and essentials that you're going to need to kind of get your face snatched or together. There's some great drugstore. Most of these are from the drugstore, except the ones that were gifted to me. You can get by, honeys. You can get by on looking good, on a budget. So hopefully this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Please subscribe from now and comment below. Give this a thumbs up if you thought this was useful, or if there's anything else I forgot or should add, comment below and let everybody know. Thanks so much. Bye.